there was a bond that had passed in 2000 for libraries in the city of San Jose. And by about 2009, it came about that this was their time, that they finally were going to get it built. The community had worked very, very hard to get it designed. There was going to be a community center with it, the library, and also there was going to be a cafe that was open to the outside so that it would not be closed in like lots of the libraries are, lots of the cafes are in San Jose. And so there was an excitement that a nonprofit could do that and perhaps bring energy and enthusiasm to minorities or women-owned businesses and bring excitement to the neighborhood that way, as opposed to just burying it in the back of the library. So there was excitement and enthusiasm, but that was kind of dampered by some of the operations of the city after 2008 that said we don't have enough money for something called O&M. And I looked in all my law books and I didn't find any what that anachronism meant. And then someone finally told me, oh, that means operation and maintenance.
Oh.
If the city doesn't have money for operation and maintenance of buildings, then we can't open them. And I scratched my head and went, that's ridiculous.
Oh, boy.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Why?
You know,
Library Community Center. And it got people excited about the opening. It got them the completion of the construction. And they could start to see it, and they started to feel that it was real. And on December 15, 2010, they got a certificate of substantial completion, which meant they could have opened that library on that day to help the people. But they weren't able to, again, because of this thing, because of operation and maintenance money. And so there was no money. And we asked the president incumbent why we couldn't do anything and why we couldn't get it open. And all he said was, there is no money. And, you know, no, when you say no to people, that stops the conversation. So we've worked and we've tried to get things argued and visible. And we think we're lucky this year. We're not quite sure positively, but the mayor has finally understood that this is important to the community. It was one of the sharp distinctions that made me understand that I wanted to run for city council against this incumbent who wasn't advocating for the needs of the neighborhoods.
So that's when you got a sense that if I don't step up, nothing's going to happen.
Yes, I mean, he's an incumbent. People sort of like went, I don't know that I want to challenge that. That's going to be a difficult race. But I talked to lots of neighborhoods in lots of different districts, and the story of Bascom Library was repeated in many other places, and in fact in so many places that I started going, wow, this guy isn't really doing the job. He really isn't reaching out. There are just so many instances where people wanted the city council to do something, and all they could hear was no. And again, people weren't empowered, the networks weren't built, the ability to, what we say Steve Jobs said, the magic wasn't there to make things happen. And when people collaborate and work together, magic does happen. We don't know where anything all the time is coming from, but you've got to put the pea in the pod, as it were, to see that things start.
So what happened when you formed this group, this advocacy group? Did you find other neighborhood folks coming forward wanting to join that felt your enthusiasm?
Oh, absolutely. And one of the key parts about it was that we didn't concentrate on just opening the Bascom Library. Our slogan was, open them all, because there were 4 new libraries that were going to be built within a 2 to 3 year period, and we wanted not just to do it for Bascom area and the District 6 area, but also for the other parts of the city. So we collaborated with other people. There was this group that we joined called the All Friends of the San Jose Library, great people, and they sort of like took up the cause to open them all also. Now, Bascom was always mentioned, and we made sure of that, but we were always saying, we've got to do this citywide.
So you saw a real need that wasn't being met by incumbents that weren't getting out there, working it, and talking to neighbors.
Yeah, very much so. And then, of course, the city did this thing in the last budget cycle of opening the libraries only 4 days a week. And that means that only 1/2 of the libraries are open on Saturday. And I don't know about you, but kids use and need the libraries on Saturdays, and those papers due on Monday at the last minute. And not everybody has access to the internet. And
Yeah.
there is a digital divide in this country.
Yeah.